In our video, two of our group members will role-play the case of Anna, a 35-year-old lesbian from El Salvador, experiencing mild depression over the recent breakup with her partner. During the assessment, the social worker learned of other issues that are affecting Anna's quality of life. In this role-play assignment, the social worker will play many roles to assist Anna, such as the critical question poser, resource consultant role, and the teacher training role. A critical question poser asks open-ended questions to assist in analyzing, understanding, and evaluating a client's issue. As the critical question poser, the social worker will assist Anna in analyzing her problems and to raise awareness of her strengths, resources, and options she has available to her. The resource consultant role emphasis is placed on the importance of linking clients to resources in a manner that enhances their self-esteem and their problem-solving capacities. In this instance, the social worker will connect Anna to resources to enhance her quality of life. Lastly, in the teacher training role, the social worker is the manager of the learning process, aimed at helping the clients find solutions for their situation. For our activity, the social worker will provide psychoeducation to Anna on empowerment and direct and indirect power of life. This is our story.
Hey, and I'm Steven. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Steven. Nice to meet you.
What brings you into our office today?
Well, I've been feeling pretty depressed lately. I haven't been feeling like myself, actually. I'm from El Salvador, so I'm new here. I just broke up with my first openly homosexual relationship with a female. I guess all of this has just kind of come together, and my main concern right now is just at work. I'm not happy with my boss. I'm not happy with how my male counterparts are treated above me and things like that.
Oh, how long have you been working at this place?
I guess not too long, maybe like 5 years or so.
5 years? That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
You said you came in from El Salvador?
Yeah, that's where my family is.
Was that recent or when you were?
I moved here about 5 years ago or so.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
okay. Well, you're quickly adjusting, I guess.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to.
Okay, the money. The main concern for you is the money difference between you.
Right, my male counterparts. I mean, that's one of the things that they get paid more than I do.
Gotcha.
And they get more respect than I do, and I don't know how to find my voice through all that.
Well, according to empowerment theory, there's basically all of us are involved with different sorts of systems of power and our ability to access power. There's two forms of ways of accessing power. There's what we call direct power block, which is like physical, tangible things like immigration laws or physically getting more money at work. And then there's what they call indirect power blocks, which are maybe like things holding you back or invisible barriers like stigmas and beliefs about yourself that you might have or possess. So does that make sense? The difference?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like a lot of what I've learned has been because of my roots in El Salvador and how women are inferior to men and things like that. And so I don't know how to get out of that mindset. It's difficult to try to speak up for myself to my boss at work and kind of have a voice. And I don't really have any support systems here. My family's not here. The one support system I had was my girlfriend. That's over with. So.
Yeah. Well, do you live downtown, Sam?
Yeah.
You know, there's actually a place called the Mantra Center, which is
Oh,
sort
yeah,
of
I've
by.
heard of that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How far is that from where you're at?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but I've heard of it at least.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be. They actually have a group of professionals that meet once a week.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah. So it would basically be a way to empower you, so
Okay.
that you could so at least it's my feelings, but I feel like if you learn to speak your voice and to give power to your narrative and really feel okay about being an El Salvadorian currently living in America,
Yeah.
but also maybe free to ask your boss or speak up at work maybe. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so if you could speak up and be more empowered at work, do you feel like you would feel more empowered, I guess?
Yeah, if I could speak up for myself, I think I'd feel more empowered. I think that I would be able to, I don't know, just kind of regain some self-confidence that I've lost.
So when you first came in here, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 feeling powerless, 10 feeling really powerful, like you could talk to your boss, how did you feel when you first showed up here?
Gosh, like a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say that you start going to the Mantra Center, hooked up with some resources, but also maybe we start challenging these indirect power block myths, like it's not okay to ask a man for things, or some of these beliefs we've held within ourselves, these stigmas. If we were to utilize all those things, how would you feel about, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel you are?
I'd love to be at a 10, where I could just ask for anything.
How are you right now?
But I think right now I would be probably leaning more towards a 6.
Great, that's
Yeah.
2 or 3 points just in this
Yeah.
conversation. So I
Yeah.
think, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep meeting every week and keep challenging these myths, and eventually, I think we can learn to be more empowered and really give voice to your life.
Okay.
And especially in your work situation, I think it's a reflection of that, so.
That'd be great.
Awesome, okay,
Thanks,
sweet,
Stephen.
yeah, no problem.
So we want to focus on the recommendations. The first thing is to identify the most problematic concern for Anna. What does she feel is the most important to address? Let's see, embracing her sexuality by coming out to her family, or acknowledging the disparities between her and her male counterparts at work, or grieving the loss of her girlfriend, and potentially her only support system in the U.S. During our assessment, we have come to the conclusion that she believes that having unequal pay at work is her major concern. So we want to actually address it on an individual level. So we would start with taking individual actions. And that involves continuing therapy to establish her strengths and learning how to confront her oppressors. She wants to, I guess in a way, gain confidence in her ability to address those concerns, because if you do not promote confidence within the individual, they will not take action into creating a positive lifestyle. Things that I would suggest are having a support system in the different places that she can go, which for example, we could use Rising Strong, which is a community-based support system that teaches successful resolutions and successful relocation in individuals that have recently moved to a new area, which she has from El Salvador. She could also have gain a sense of community by talking to other people who have also experienced the same thing. She can also go to a place that is called Authentically Empowered Self. That is an area that teaches empowerment, and it teaches her how to face difficult challenges in her life. I also believe that learning about potential resources that educates her in identifying her rights and how to obtain equal pay. Once she has established that, then we could go to a more community individual. Instead of individual, we could focus on community-based improvements. In conclusion, I think that it really depends on the client and what is best for her, and how can she establish creating resources in helping her achieve her important decisions in life.